Hello, sports fans from around the world. It's the one you've been waiting for, the NRL SuperCoach BDE podcast. We are the best draft experts, here to bring you a slightly later potty tonight. Yours truly apologizes to those loyal listeners who've been waiting for us to log on. We had a few computer difficulties, but working beautifully. The boys are with us. Todd Mount.
Yes, mate. I'm here. Another Tuesday night, another teamless Tuesday. Few movers and shakers in the old teamless this week, mate. So, yeah, looking forward to it, mate. I'm very good. Just come from training, so I'm fired up, mate. I'm fired up.
Fire up the top. Yeah, man. Very good. Simo, the Bronze Prince himself. Get a bit more sun this week, old son?
Yeah, I didn't get much sun, though. I was jetting off around, seeing family and whatnot down south. So, no, not much sun getting around this week, but mate, I'm just feeling this vibe of Toddy. He is up for this one tonight. I can tell. That's a bloke that had a big week last week.
He absolutely is, but not as much as our man Grabs Kebabs. Yes, get that BD India. That's what we love to see. Our man Dom. Hey, Potty, pretty late one tonight. Toddy, welcome aboard again, Dom. I was going to throw Toddy under the bus when I saw your comment, but I couldn't do it, Dom. And Will, just regular Will. Nearly falling asleep. Wow. Sorry, bud. Sorry to keep you, but we'll get 5
years old. Seriously.
Yeah.
Jeez, just imagine how bad he's going to be when he starts listening.
I suspect a bit of shift work there for Will, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But great to have listeners aboard as always. Love the community. So, gentlemen, I want you to keep in mind for those many leagues that play captains out there. There are a lot of very juicy options this week, and I really want you guys to have a think about it for me. Your VC and C options to help out listeners, getting a few DMs about that question. So let's keep that in mind this week. All right, and potentially starting with one for the round. This is what triggered my thought process. Tommy Turbo against the Cowboys. I think it's time that he put on the big tongue. So there's one straight off the bat. Ruben Garrick, Simo. Look. With the resurgence under Kieran Foran, is Ruben Garrick maybe now someone that you could trust? Would you be starting him going forward?
Yeah, look, he's definitely gone up a notch the last couple of weeks. He's sort of in that must-start sort of territory now when the matchup's good. And this is certainly a week where the matchup is certainly that. So, he's one of those guys, Ruben Garrick. I mean, if you've got a captain that also plays early in the round, like a captain option, I don't mind the VC on Ruben in this first game of the round. Let's say you've got someone on the Friday night games you really like that could be a captain, then, yeah, I don't mind the play. Generally speaking, I'm more of I'd rather probably try and wait a bit later in the round, but that's more from a draft sense. I mean, in Classic, it doesn't really matter that much, but, yeah, I think Garrick has a good couple of weeks. There's no reason why he shouldn't continue that this week.
Our man Cal has joined us. Good day to all outside of a surprise Fifi injury. God damn, yeah. The 6 weeks to him and Lucas just out of nowhere kind of sucks, but it is the draft.
Anyone surprised about David Fifita being injured is off their nut. He loves an injury.
There is that as well. Dom, Jesus, Toddy. You're looking Viliami Cacao fast with that.
That's good. Man. Yeah. Dom has fastly become my favourite bloke, that's for sure.
He goes all right. Weekly reminder, Burbo Truther. Yeah, I'll probably be firing him up thanks to the Dylan Lucas injury this week. He blundered his way to his lowest score of the year. That's what happens when you start Burbo. But another nice solid 57 coming. Let's hope. All right. Just a couple of quick temperature checks as well. Tommy Chester, Todzer. Woof. All right.
Yeah,
he is growing. He is growing week by week. So trajectory really quickly for our listeners, mate. Like, is he settling in almost to a guaranteed top 3, top 30 CTW now? It's getting bloody close.
I think if he keeps that spot, then I think he's locked into a top 30 for sure. Super value with the dual as well, which is really nice for those owners who are. I mean, fullback can be a bit of a hit and miss sometimes, so it's nice. Some good matchups coming up for Tommy Chester too. This one's a fun one. So yeah, look, I like Tommy Chester. I think he will end up come season's end, providing he keeps that spot and stays injury free. I think it will be a top 30 CT up.
So with Murray Taulagi out just for the week with a concussion, I believe, Zach Labert comes in as a bit of a Mr. Fix-It. You could probably fire him up in this 1 week because I think Cowboys have shown a bit of attack. I'm actually fine with that. But I think the bigger one for me is if Braden Burns was dropped, which he might have been in a few leagues because the ankle injury might have scared a few people. I absolutely love the idea of picking up Braden Burns as just a wonderful member of a platoon at worst. Chester v. Cooler this week. Wow, that would be... Whew. I'm going to say Cooler because he's my boy, but, I mean, it's not a slam dunk, Simo. That's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, to Toddy's point about Chester, I mean, he's been unreal the last, 3 or 4 weeks now. Like, he's, as you said, he's grown in confidence as an NRL player, and he's looking the goods, to be honest, Tommy Chester. But, I mean, yeah, I just feel like when you're looking at those two guys, Cooler's just got that huge upside. Like Chester, as good as he's been, like he's cracked out a couple of hundreds. I get that, so it's not really that much of a knock on him. It's just that Cooler's got that nuclear level that I just don't know if Chester quite has. So for me, like I'd go Cooler just for that reason alone. But honestly, you can't go too wrong with either.
Lads, if you are the Braden Brayley owner, who is probably someone, pre-season we wanted to believe Harry Grant would take back over the number 1 spot, but it's becoming harder and harder to justify that. Brayley hitting some upside is on the bye this week, gentlemen. So we've got to think about hooker replacements for our dear listeners. Any interest in Sony Luke? Pumped out a very good score last week. Matchup's pretty good. And unless I think Big Sammy McIntyre might deputize as the world's biggest hooker again, which just makes me honestly moister than an oyster. That is awesome. Sony Luke's he's going to play big minutes here. Let's not beat around the bush. I think if you are really gunning for a win this week, any objections, gentlemen, to Sony Luke being a pretty decent option? No objections whatsoever. I think for this 1 week, like you have to understand that it is literally just that. Like you are spending whatever waiver you're going to use to get him. I'm not saying you should spend like a top 3, but sometimes like you can't pick what spot you are. If you need a hooker, you're sitting second on the list. Like I think Luke's probably going to be one of the better options this week as a hooker. But yeah, it's probably not really the stereotypical play you're looking for to spend a top waiver on because you want that longevity for the rest of the season. But I think this week he'll be probably, as I said, probably one of the better options. So if you want to be aggressive on waivers and you're pretty keen to spend those claims, then I completely understand why you do it. For sure. It would be interesting. They spent all that money to get Reed Marnie there. I think Sony Luke showed more in that game last week than Reed has all season. So I obviously don't assume that he would maintain even if he played amazing. But, wow, it's another great game and they win and Sony Luke looks good. It would be a very interesting conversation to have nonetheless. Thomas McKaylee needs to be discussed here, Todza. He's a base stat beast. We know this. He's a base power guy with offload in his game. Finally, I've kind of rated him for quite some time. I'm not sure why he hasn't got the minutes, maybe defensive lapses, but he showed a little bit last couple. As a low-end FRF that you could plug and play, mate, I think he's pretty close.
Yeah, look, I don't mind the shout. He's getting some time off the bench. You think like this week, Carrigan's out, AFB's out. Some people might be starting who's the other front rower there at the Sharks, maybe. But yeah, as a plug and play for those kind of guys, don't mind the shout for Thomas McKaylee, but there is every chance that he does come on and play. Those 40 minutes are not that great. So it is a risk, but as an FRF2, like it's an okay play.
The other one is we had a Ruben Cotter sighting, Simo. It was actually more base inclined than I wanted to see. I almost just wanted all based on trying a line break, and you're just like, nah, not worth it. Holy shit, man. He based a bit. Like, is it one of those random moments where he just found a bit and he'll kick on?
Maybe, but yeah. What did he score? Like, from memory, was it an 81?
It was just in the low end.
Yeah, like you take the try and line break away. Like he scored a try. It was definitely a line break.
It is, but it's still, essentially taken away. It's a lot better than he's done base-wise, a lot more involved. And I don't know if it's Big Lolo's punch through the middle. He was dragging the rest of that forward pack with him. Holy shit, he was good to watch again. Big Lolo.
Yeah, he has actually looked really good this year, Tamalolo, to be fair. Like Ruben Cotter, I mean, I think I've gone back to the well on him twice already this season, and I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I probably can't go back a third time. I'd probably want to see it first, and by that point, someone else is already on him. So, not for me. But if you've lost Fafita or Katonga or Dylan Lucas, and he's sitting out there, then sure. But yeah,
Simo, no try, just a line break in 81. So, just want to quickly run through some stats for you. He
I thought it was no try.
A contribution only, so not even a try assist. 37 tackles, a couple of tackle busts, couple of offloads to hand, plus the line break and 21 base stat in runs. So we're starting to get into some territory there that would absolutely make him an every week starter. So I get how you're nervous.
58-ish in pure base.
Yeah.
You said 37 tackles and 21 in runs. Is that what you said?
Yeah, with some offloads and some tackle busts in there.
He's not an offloader. Like he's not. Like he just isn't.
I'm fine with it.
It's
there's a reason I threw it your way, mate, because I know you and I have wanted to believe in this one. It's just I'm going to give the listeners, if you just have that nice free agent spot and you just want to make sure he doesn't repeat the dose straight up, because obviously the narrative changes pretty quick. If he did something similar this week, you're like, well, shit. He might have just found something. He was carrying an injury or. So anyway, fair enough. We've spent enough time on that one. We'll move on down to Raiders v Storm in what is just a massive game for Melbourne Storm. DIO, 6 p.m. on a Friday. Probably spared the later game, Todzer, where I think it was a bit colder. Woof. Good luck, Melbourne. I don't even know if they go in as favourites here, given it's in Canberra. Probably not.
Probably not. They're not looking great, hey?
No,
Canberra's forward pack is like it's a great matchup for Canberra.
It honestly, mate, it absolutely is. Like they can't go with them here, can they?
Like I don't see how they do.
I don't see how they stick with him. And I got to tell you, I'm gonna call out here Josh King trying to be a tough man in that game last week. I'm not saying the boy wouldn't destroy us off the field, but you want to have more punch than a bloody powder puff. What a powder puff performance from him in recent times as well. And he's sitting there like giving it to him after he's been drilled into the ground. Sure, I appreciate the effort, but that ain't it. That is not it. Run the ball a bit harder and tackle harder, maybe.
Chanel Harris Davida plonked some people.
Oh, absolutely sat him on his ass, and it was, I love me a bit of CHT. So yeah, I'm with you. So that means with Tamale dropped, no doubt for that discipline, one of the stupidest things I've seen. That reminded me, Simo, this is for the NFL fans and for you, mate. Our man Deshaun Jackson come to mind when I watched that. If Cody Walker had punched it out, my goodness, he'd be a few weeks out of the first grade side. So, holy shit.
Long gone. Yeah,
but he'll get away with it because he did score. He'll just be sat down for a week. So I'm not going to say 1 week specials for any of them, but Manny Tomoko is back in there. With the injury to Xavier Savage being fairly long term, there is a chance for Timoko here. With Tamale to come back in and just take Jed's spot is the chance. Todzer, he's got to be owned. I think that's pretty standard, to be honest. It's whether there's a waiver claim involved, mate. What are your thoughts?
I definitely think if you are a person who thinks Tomoko is going to keep this spot and Chris is going to stay on the wing, then I think you could burn whatever waiver on Matt Tomoko, to be perfectly honest, if that's what you think is going to happen. Just lost a Simo. But I do see. I don't really think that that's what's going to happen though. The way they've trended so far this year, I think he's going to stay in Resi. So for this week, usually you would say a tough matchup, but I do think this is a bit of a tough one. I wouldn't be overly keen on him this week, but that's just my opinion.
I think he's mid. He's mid or higher, and if you've got team needs, like if you're really struggling at CTW. These are the chances you've got to take, Todzer. because he can be a difference maker. He can average 60. Yeah. I suppose the only issue here is if he's going to average about 60. That's just what he's done historically. But it really is just, can he play well enough to then make that argument when the X-Man comes back to stay in there as well? It just seems they love Seb Crisp, mate. So I'm with you. It does seem hard rest of season plus round 26. And Dom's asked a question in relation to this. So Timoko versus Tango waiver. Timoko all day, every day, just because of longevity, Dom. Casey McLean only out for a week, I believe. So, yes. All right. Timo's just dropped out with a few technical.
He has, mate. He has.
Yeah, but we'll see how we go. So we'll keep on rolling. Big Noah Martin jumps back into the starting lineup. So Ricky potentially being pretty honest when he said he just needed to rest the young bull, which is fair enough because he's pretty gassed. Still did wonderful. Absolutely wonderful coming off the bench with a shit ton of tackles again. Welcome, Lock It In. Thanks for joining, mate. And yeah, apologies. Some technical delays delayed our start tonight. So you guys think Timoko is a genuine waiver this week? It's very team needs specific. If you've got a locked in 4 or 5 CT dubs, I wouldn't break the bank for him. But Jesus, if you're at that spot, good luck to you. Probably already high flying. This one probably applies to those who really need the dubs. And I can't imagine he is not better than your 4 CTW for the next 6-ish weeks while the X-Man is on the shelf. So I think he's at least something mid-ish. But if you're really desperate, you might not do better. All right. I also want to I guess there's a qualifier on this, folks. We're assuming a lot of the leagues we play, we look at players that, we know would be owned in most leagues. If you're looking at some guys like your Daniel Tupus, these type of guys are sitting out there for you who've had slow starts to the year, Karapani, Tupu, whatever it may be, you can prioritize those guys. It's just in the majority of leagues, they're not going to be available. Fair comment, Todza?
Yeah, that makes sense, mate.
All right, just moving the Simo back in. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, boys.
We'll go to Melbourne, Simone. I'll bring you in, mate. So Jackie Howarth has been okay. I think there's leagues where he'd still be sitting out there, mate, because I'm not a huge fan in terms of the lack of upside, but he might do just enough. So is he someone you'd be bringing in?
Was that Jackie Howarth? Sorry, I just rabbited on you.
Jack Howarth, mate, yeah.
Yeah, look, he's a bit like you, mate. I'm not really a huge Jack Howarth truther, so I'd probably try and steer away. I think it's a bit of a dodgy matchup for him as well. Like, it's not someone I'd be looking at.
That's fair. Left wing for Melbourne, we just do this. It's just dead until Xavier Coates comes back. I hope that gives the Munster owners a few try assists off kicks because they have dried up this year, something fierce. All right, that is it for the Storm. Ripping through, just looking for those really viable picks this week. So good to see the Finns back off the bye. They get the absolute pleasure of playing, no doubt, stinging Penrith Panthers unit. No Casey McLean, though, is a pretty big out for them. Maybe Tommy Jenkins will dry up a little with Isaac, I don't pass the ball too much, Tungo coming in. So might not be the big week for Jenkins. Blaze Talangi. Just want to bring him up from a real-life perspective. That defensive tape ain't looking too flash. So you got to wonder if teams now, and for draft purposes, we will absolutely try and punch that side of the field. So, Simo, you're always on to that, mate, about which side of attack. I think Penrith are gettable down that wing, mate.
Oh, for sure. It's, I'm a bit of a Blaze truther in terms of his attacking ability. But, yeah, look, I mean, that defense is, you're right. The tape's not great. So, yeah, I think it's one of those ones that, if you're looking for someone with a good matchup, just target Blaze because, look, let's be real, NRL teams are going to be going there early and often most weeks. So it's probably going to bear fruit more than it doesn't.
A couple more comments rolling in. William, are we dropping Meaney for Timoko? Quick yes or no, gentlemen?
Definitely not.
Meaney has to regress to the mean with the goal kicking. His poor form's really coincided with Melbourne struggling. So, yeah, that's a tough one. Will, yeah, I can't hold meeting forever. JC, he has sucked. Yes, he certainly has. Papa will share the Liga record standings. Todd has been setting that up for us at the end. Tough start to the year for yours truly, mate. Need this Roosters run to come very, very quickly. Also, I hate hookers so much. Lock it in. I have a few questions, boys. Do you want me to wait to the end? Try and, if you can, listeners, and lock it in. You're a mate, great contributor to this potty. Throw them if you want to throw them around when we're looking at the team list, because all we do is, you know, the format, mate. We go top to bottom on the teams and games and discuss them. So if you want to throw them in around about when we're talking about the teams, it just makes it easier for me to keep track. Welcome, Blake Johnson. Who do you think the number one waiver is this week? Timoko, Kant, and Garner. I'm going to come back to that question for you, mate, when we've actually gone through the Knights, and obviously we're looking at Panthers now. Garner, gentlemen, has to be brought up in good raise, Blake. Simo, with Luke Martin, he looks pretty injured, mate. Garner, when he's had opportunities, has been fantastic. Is he a waiver claim?
100%. Like, you got Martin out for at least 6 weeks, maybe even longer. Like, I think he's just like the worry of Garner is that he doesn't play 80, but I think this is going to be an 80-minute role without Martin there. I guess that's the risk, is that you spend it and he ends up only playing 60. But look, I'm probably okay to spend a waiver on Garner and just, you know, back it in that I think the talent wins out there and he plays 80.
Yeah, and honestly, mate, with his upside as well, which he's shown, I think 65, he might have in this little run of his, he might have some 65-minute games where Sorensen spells one of either him or IPAP. I think it might rotate a little bit just based on how they're going. I still think overall over the next 6 weeks, you've got a red-hot chance of at worst, high 50s, maybe even a mid-60s average. So I'm all about it, mate. I'm a big yes.
Yeah. If you say, look, worst-case scenario is like 65 minutes of Garner, in that Panthers team with the upside that presents, like, I'm happy with that. I'd still waiver that. Would I prefer 80? Of course I would, but, you know, I wouldn't be shying away from a waiver just because he doesn't play 80 minutes.
Absolutely. All right. So as I said, Blake, we'll come back to that question. Cal, do you guys reckon Finafiliaki will regress or a good chance to continue the run of base? Todd's up. Over to you, good sir.
Mate, I wouldn't want to be backing in Finafiliaki to continue this whole big run. If I was a Finafiliaki owner, I'd probably look to try and sell high on that, and that's where I would be, I think. What about you, Simo?
I'd be buying, actually. I think he's
really
big
time.
Oh,
I would be.
Really?
I was quite vocal on him last year, but like, we know that he's like, especially when he's at the Cowboys, he looked such an up and coming gun, and like last year seemed so down, like he couldn't have done less. And this year, I reckon he's just turned the corner. I'm just going to say that he's a good player starting to break out. So depending on price, yeah, I'd be jumping on board that.
Yeah, absolutely. I am backing as per the question. I think his real life play is translating so well to SuperCoach, and unless he just pulls back from that effort, which I don't think he will. So lock it in. Siwa or Garner as top waiver may not get either. We'll add that one as well to the list. So I'll get the boys to have a think about that one. So Siwa
one. Don't have to think too hard about that.
It would be because of the longevity argument, isn't it? That's really the play. And he's playing a lot better football too. Yeah, just go call it now. Any objection there, Todd Miller?
Nah, not at all.
Fair enough. Katunga out until 13. Waiver claim, Garner or Capewell. Garner out of those two for me. But I see free agent Rauchman. I would free agent Rauchman in a heartbeat. That is the answer to that question. And then just find another plug and play till you get there. But Rauchman, gentlemen, I presume is very straightforward there.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
Papa Jim, can't wait for the breakdown on the League of Records. So the table will be there, and we've spoken a bit about our format. So feel free to ask some questions under the Facebook post if you're new to our format. It's very, very specific, and we do it offline. Do you think Garner is a higher claim than D Tupou as he's available in my league? Not even remotely close. D Tupou would be the number one waiver claim in our league with a bullet. So that's an easy one, boys, as well.
Yeah, you take Tupou. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stanger says, tar, gents, no dramas, mate. Happy to have you aboard. All right, so we've gone through Garner, which is a good one. We've spoken about Finafui as well. Really quickly, if Jake Averillo was sitting out there, gentlemen, we don't put respect on this man's name, continues to absolutely brain it in SuperCoach. He's a waiver claim. Go get him. We've got to. It's like, what is it, a year and a bit of sample size now with a strangely high floor, and he's actually got upside. So I may not get full agreement from the lads on this one, but I'd be burning him.
Nah.
You will not get full agreement.
Boy, every time he plays, I think he's fluking all of it. I think to myself, nah, it's going to break down real soon. No, thank you.
All right. We've got an IPAP question. Would you guys chase IPAP with a package using Twal? No, I would hang on to Twal and just enjoy the magnificent gift you've been given. That's gone so well. I wouldn't be selling high on Twal. I think that role is absolutely locked in. I think that the model that they're running with, and let's touch wood, injury aside, of course, gentlemen, Twal's he's the gift this year, right?
Yeah, he just keeps on going.
Yeah, look, he is. I like what Lockett's doing and trying to capitalize on 100%. A guy that he would have got really, really late in the draft or off free agency. I just don't think I'd be packaging to go get IPAP. I don't think you need to be giving up 2 players to get IPAP there. I feel like it all depends on what you're going to get.
IPAP D Fifi essentially for Twal. I imagine you would get that through given D Fifi's injury. I again just think is almost like a super high-end base guy with Jewel. Using Twal to get a package and could buy IPAP. Now you're talking. I absolutely would be on the Twal side of that, which is crazy to say, but it's just us adapting. So good luck, mate. Let us know how you go. All right. I'll move on down to the next game. The mighty Waz, who bounced back, led by the absolutely devastating defense of one Chanel Harris Tavita. Woof. That's how you come back to the first grade side. And to prove that you probably shouldn't have got dropped, Todzer. Fair to say?
Oh, man. Big dog energy from CHT and big dog energy from the Warriors just to go over and just absolutely give it to Melbourne in Melbourne. Get it up, yeah. It's good, mate. It's good to get back into the winners' circle and look like that team we were in that first 3 rounds. So, yeah, I'm not surprised to see pretty much no changes apart from old Curdy Capewell coming in. We do have a Mitchell Barnett sighting on the extended bench there with CNK, so that's very interesting and one to watch on the day. I thought Roger looked great in the centres.
I was going to say, how good was Roger's finger to Willie Warbrick? Like,
it was awesome.
What a head too. Cop that, Willie. Get it up, yeah.
I like the fact that he is less reliant on speed in the centres, Todzer. He's still clearly got the power game. It's just more that I think he's lost a little bit of the explosion, but bloody hell, mate. You've shored up the centres, which is the one concern. So couple of questions. You've absolutely gone there. Dom's come in about thoughts on Mitch Barnett. Named on reserves. Is he a drop? Poor form this year. Have no room on bench. I've had a really close look at his stats, even to pick him up as a free agent now, league of record. I'm not convinced with the jump ahead of all the edge back rowers that we've seen. So combined with front rowers who are like really high work rate guys, I don't know. I don't know if he's more Lindsay Smith this year than some of those other front row options to me. Either of you got any interest here? I'm not saying he'll be picked up. You free agent him at worst. Don't get me wrong. But is he actually really a waiver claim? Dodger, I'll go you first, mate.
Go to me first, my bad. I don't think it's a waiver claim. He will be picked up. I just think there's too many mouths to feed. It's one of those things where Mitchie's off next year. He's coming back from a pretty serious injury. So even for the next probably 5-6 weeks, his minutes are going to be way lower. And with the emergence of like Vaiamanga, you got Jacob Laban, Leka Helasima, like all these guys need probably 40 odd minutes to get going. And those guys we've seen through the middle. Jackson Ford's playing massive minutes as well and looking really good and being able to do that role. So when Barnett does come back, I think it's way more in sort of a leadership off the bench impact role as opposed to starting with Fish and Ford there. So I don't think he's a very high waiver. I would be really happy to pick him up as a free agent stash and see what happens. But even then, like with benches so small, it's not something I'll be rushing out to do anyway.
Yeah.
Simo, do you have any? Sorry.
Well, Todd, I'm just going to jump into Dom's question before we go to Simo. I think even in terms of if you're on a bit of roster squeeze, I don't think he's a must keep either, to be perfectly honest. I don't think he's winning you a league this year with a 70-plus average, Simo.
No, I don't think he's that either. Like, if I'm Dom and I've held him, it sounds like Dom's held him on his roster these last 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I don't know, this is just probably more of a personal thing here, but I find it really hard to drop a guy if I've carried him through all of his injury, comes back. Like, if you're gonna drop him, you should have dropped him 2 weeks ago for someone else. Like, you know, I don't want to be like that narrow-minded either, though. Like, if there's someone really big on waivers that is definitely going to fix your team, even if it is just for this week, then yeah, move on from him. I think you can. Like, I agree with what you guys were saying. Like, I think he's probably not going to be it'll be a bit of a shell of what he has been. Let's be honest. Like, he's not going to pump out 70 plus. He's probably more of like a 55, 65 range in there, which is still pretty good. It's just, yeah, it's not someone that you have to keep.
Honestly, man, I think he'll even battle to get that with the minutes. Like that, he'd have to be offloading. And I just, remember Mitch Barnett at his best, he could do that thing where he'd turn and just dump it out the back. I just feel his role is going to be so simplified in this power game of the Wars. So, honestly, mate, I'd be shocked if he even hits a 60. I really would. Will, I'll bring that one back up. Sorry, Will, if it'll let me keep it. Can we please leave Leka at 2RF and stop ruining his score, please? And thank you here for the Leka truthers all over the shop, the kid. But I'm sure it would be nice, Todd. That's probably one thing we haven't seen yet. Give the man some early ball. Lady butchered one last week. Literally just had to pop it to him. No one was stopping him. So we'll see.
Underutilized.
Phoenix, CHT hammered Josh King. Yeah, we were reminiscent about that. That was outstanding. And Saran, I'll get to your couple of questions in a bit, mate, when we get to the Knights game. Saran has, however, mentioned one. Maxi Plath, gentlemen. Simo, quick one, trajectory on Maxi Plath and where we think that's going.
Yeah, look, he's someone we talk about a fair bit, Plath, because I feel like he's just going to fluctuate quite a lot just because his role changes all the time. Like, he's obviously at 9 at the moment. Marshall King will be back soon. Obviously, we've got Donahue sniffing around there too that could take minutes. It's really going to come down to what they decide to do with Morgan Knowles. Like, does he stick with this sort of 55-minute role, or do they knock him down a few minutes and give Maxi Plath some? I know if I was coaching the Dolphins, I know which one I'd be doing, but, it's not always the case what they end up doing when they've signed someone from the UK to come over and play. So, look, I was actually offered a trade with Maxi Plath in one of the other leagues I'm in. I don't even have a hooker in that one. I've just been A-ing the position. And, he wasn't really someone that I was super stoked to really be getting offered. Like, I sort of just probably didn't put that much value into him. I think he'll be pretty safe. He'll probably punch you out a 50 to 55, but I don't think he's anything more than that. He's just a solid hooker and probably not a lot more.
Fair play, mate. I think, hard to trust at the moment, but boy, hooker, we say it every week. It is just brutal. Will wants a bit of commentary from you, mate, around Tuapiki, who I think real life as well hasn't looked that flash. Like, he looks, I was saying to Todzer, he looks almost like a poor man's Kinney to me. Like, he's just not as elusive. The defense seems to read what he's going to do most of the time with, like, his stepping. I'm sure it could just be a bit of a form drop because he's got talent. But, Simo, you just hold and hope. CNK is still there in the extended, has obviously come back from a, pretty nasty little injury that he had himself. It's a hard one for Tuapiki, mate. Like, are you still full faith that he's going to hang on to this or a little bit concerned?
Oh, he was look, one terribly butchered try assist, and look, he did butcher it. Like, I'm not going to. He has to be crucified for that. But if he passes that ball and he pumps out like a 58 or whatever it would have been, almost a 60, like we're probably not really having this conversation as much as we are. Like, I think he's just. Like, you remember, he hasn't played much first grade. He's growing into the role, so. I'm not going to be giving up on Tuapiki. I still think that if he's getting dropped in leagues out there, like, you got to go and pick him up because, like, you got him for not much. You picked him up off waivers in a lot of leagues out there. You just got to stay the course. And if he ends up fizzling out, then so be it. But, I mean, you're probably not getting any trade offers for him at this point, so I wouldn't be selling him while his value's low. Just wait for a few big games and then reevaluate.
If you are reliant on him as your fullback, which is probably unlikely given the dual eligibility, but if you were, CNK as a handcuff is one way to do it as well if CNK's been dropped. So it's not a horrible play if you've got the roster space. Does Tanner Boyd hold the spot when Metcalf is fit? Because, boy, Todza, CHT, the difference he made was monstrous last week. It's interesting, isn't it, mate? Like, it's worthy conversation.
Yeah, it's what a headache. I mean, Tanner's done nothing wrong, but like I said to one of my mates the other day, if we get into finals football, do I want Tanner Boyd as my 7 over Luke Metcalf? And I don't see a world where I want that. Like, it's just Tanner Boyd, he's been really good, but I think that CHT should be the 6 and Lukey Met. I do think that Lukey Met should come back through reserve grade, though, because he clearly was not match fit at all.
Not at all, no. Lateral
Not
movement.
even close. Like, not even close.
Almost no trust in post the injury, to be honest. And Stanger, keeping Metcalf stashed is a pretty wise move, I think. I would be, just to see how that one shakes out.
Yeah.
So I would Stanger if you've got the roster room. Now, boys, haven't used this much this season, but my plug and play of the week is the revenge game to end all revenge games. Alofi Khan Pereira against his...
Hey!
I think you plug and play that man and enjoy at least a try, if not a couple. You can guarantee at least one. It's his time against the Titans. Get around it.
I like it.
Yeah, boy. You also probably at some point should start DWZ, who's braining it at the moment. Yeah. Like, he may look like he gets injured pretty much every play and looks unco sometimes, but boy, can the man finish. My goodness.
I feel like the second we go all in on DWZ, he gets a HIA in 5 minutes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Egg on the face.
As the person who's fallen victim to that sumo that many times, that's why I went Khan Pereira as my option this week, mate. So Keanu Kinney has sprung to life in what is probably now going to be the easiest matchup of the year. Wowzers. Like, Jesus, Parramatta. That's going to get ugly real quick. Keanu Kinney, would you use this wonderful opportunity to sell high? Don't need a deep one. Just if you I would personally. I definitely want to think. I still think the Titans are absolutely terrible with Lockie Ilias at the helm. I think he's just absolutely atrocious. I send that poo emote to Todger at least 3 or 4 times a weekend around Lockie Ilias's play. They're still going to look terrible against better teams, and he's going to get shut out. So I would, if someone believes and you want to go parlay that into a 2-for-1 for a better fullback, go for it.
Dude, I'm back on the train, eh?
You're back on?
Of course you are.
I'm back on the train, mate. I can't get behind it. Get on him, baby. I've seen enough. Bro, he was awesome. Finally looked like he enjoyed playing football again. Oh, it was great. That could be the turning point of the year, baby.
Absolutely. I love it. Like, and this is the thing. Of the calls that I would love to be wrong on, and apologies for any listener who sells and he brains it, it's just going with what's the most likely outcome. If you can turn that into something, Simo, surely it's time.
Yeah. Like, I hate being this guy too, but like, I'm not going to let one performance against the shithouse Parramatta team, like, just. Oh, if it was against any other team, I might be a little bit. Actually, probably not the Dragons, but like, yeah.
Dragons or Manly.
I'd love to see it again.
Yeah. It's probably your window, though, because if he goes back over in New Zealand and gets you a sub 50, your window is firmly shut, and people aren't going to believe even if he brains like the Dragons. He's already played the Dragons. He didn't brain them either. So, yeah, there's that.
Who are you trading him for then, Redford?
It's a hard one. This is where if I was a Kinney owner, maybe try and it's hard to say your record would be good. If you have Keeney, going after Reece Walsh probably doesn't make sense because you probably haven't had a good start to the year. So it is hard to frame a market here. Hammer is a good one. Edwards would be spectacular. So maybe a package deal to get the Hammer. I don't hate that. I'd rather the Hammer rest of the season fairly comfortably, actually. Apart from if you play buys, which, Timo, you pointed out before, if you play buys, Hammer is a pretty shit own through that window.
Yeah, I think Walsh is too, actually, to be quite honest. So, yeah, you got to make sure you factor that in. But, yeah, Edwards would be a good one. I think he's the guy you go look for.
All right, couple of quick hitters here. What's in your mug, Redford? Nothing exciting, no bourbon or anything this night, mate. I've actually got the waters, so I'm being a bit looking after myself a little. Rare thing for me. Meso, yeah, viable upgrade, Hammer, Edwards, fullback trades are too often 1-for-1. Yeah, you got a red-hot chance of getting Walsh if you want to go and get him. Kinney plus anything, probably enough. Working my way through. How many tips did you get? 6 for me. I did actually manage to tip the Bulldogs against Penrith, which was pretty random. And then I got my nitro.
You're joking.
Yeah.
How did you tip the Bulldogs with that critter against Penrith? That is the sort of bloke you want in your tipping top, people.
I suspect. Well, I'm leading the compliment, but that's how we lead into it.
Luck box.
2-person league. Me and the missus. She goes against me every week.
Yeah. No, we've actually we've settled in.
I like the Eels Collins. I picked them.
About 2,000, I think. So going all right in tipping. I'm normally terrible, to be fair. What else have we got in here? Saran. All right, because Braden Burns has already been mentioned. Braden Burns for Trey Mooney.
No, thank you.
Which side do you like, mate? You like the Mooney side still?
Yeah, dude.
Hate the minutes he's getting, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But you can do better than Braden Burns. All right. Good to see Cooper Bye do something. You'd love to see him sneak his way into that 13 jersey, gentlemen. It would be awesome. Curtis Moran starting a game of NRL in the front row is a real bold call. Any interest in Curtis Moran?
Yeah. Ooh, let me go have a look at that. Absolutely zero. Holy.
I will just take this opportunity to give a shout out to one of our listeners. He will know who he is when he hears this, but in the preseason, he did actually message me about Curtis Moran signing with the Titans and the fact that they need forwards.
Okay.
I just absolutely poo-pooed it, as most people would, but
yeah.
He'll take this as a little bit of a victory lap. So I'll give him his moment in the sun and say, look, mate, if you're listening, waiver him in our league, and I'd love to see it. So jump on board, Curtis Moran.
Oh, must be nice playing leagues with you, mate. Holy. Where do you find these leagues?
Paul's mouth says Sammy or Jojo is either a waiver claim. I'm still not feeling like the Titans are people you have to own. Probably not for mine. Good to see Sammy get some. And Jojo Fafita is a really good real-life player. I think we've said it a couple of times. He's actually quite decent. Neither a waiver claim for me, gentlemen, unless you're in, a 12-team league?
Yeah, 12's fine.
Probably is.
I like Jojo.
Good player. Meso, I'd take Braden for Mooney. J-Safe is the big dog or cat. I can't see it properly. One of the two. The big dog, I presume it is.
Yeah, J-Safe is a big cat.
He's a big cat. No, he certainly isn't at the moment. Yeah, I agree with you, but I still think you could do better. Use that late try of Mooney's to try and sell him a bit higher, I think, personally. Go get another CT dub a bit higher up the chain for mine. Agree, gentlemen?
Yeah.
It's a dog.
Yeah, I agree.
Confirmed. Bit small on my screen, mate.
I'm still holding Mooney, though.
Speaking of dogs, how Maybe there's it to see Trent from Punchy in the chat.
Trent from Punchy. Yeah, it's Do you think Bevan French or Jai Field will be in PNG Hunters?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
That's a question. Yeah, that's a question that Trent from Punchy would ask. Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Get
Throw me
Field over there.
the multiple Man of Steel winner. The ears look like a cap. Thank you, Golden Rich. I can only see a small one, mate, and couldn't quite pick it up. But yeah, it's good. Good shout. Maybe the eyes are failing. All right, moving on down. The Bunnies versus the Dragons. Going to go straight to the Matt Duffy inclusion. I am moister than an oyster with the chance of watching Duffy run amok against his old team. That's just awesome. Like, how is the timing? Look, 4 weeks for Jai Gray, and, oh boy, almost surprised he hasn't busted his shoulder previously, just given how tough he is and how he, the size thing. So good luck to him. Hopefully he comes back well. Matt Duffy, though, 4 weeks. Latrell, he's not fit enough to play fullback for 80 minutes, so they can see why they've done this. So Matt Duffy's in. Todd's interest here, mate. He's got upside.
I was trying to think of whether I'm really on the fence. I don't think I do have interest, but then in terms of SuperCoach, there's guys with Walsh. You've got, deeper leagues. Kennedy's not playing this weekend. You've got someone else is injured too.
Obviously, Jai Gray.
Gray, yeah, the Jai Gray owners. So I can understand those guys having a bit of interest. Yep. We've seen him hit a bit of upside, like you said. It's just, and it's a good matchup too. Again, this week against the Dragons. So I think now that I've talked about it out loud instead of in my head, I don't mind the play this week for 4 weeks and 4 weeks only, and I hope I never see him after that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones, if you really need a fullback for any reason, you can justify whatever level of waiver you need because fullback is super thin. CNK might be out there if he ends up getting up and plays, then probably I'd still rather CNK. But if not, Duffy's probably your man. So you can have a rep. But yeah, team need dependent, 100%. Just
imagine your team line up with Matt Duffy in it.
Yes.
It would feel gross, wouldn't it?
What is it? 2019.
This is a great point.
Yeah, Meso's brought up
a great point for Meso.
It absolutely is. Duffy is not on the SC app, which is ridiculous. Fully agree, mate. I guess for draft format, he'll appear as a waiver. We certainly hope so. We have a rule in our league, Meso, that the boys are happy to enforce where if a player comes in who wasn't listed on site, no one will ever pick him up. They don't get a chance as a free agent. He has to be waived. So we had it with Jared Hayne way back when he came back. What's the other one? Val Holmes, I think. No, he didn't come back mid-season, did he? There's been a couple of them. So, yeah, hopefully your leagues have got something similar because it's gross. It's not good.
To be honest with you, though, I think the Jared Hayne one was sort of the catalyst for us making the rule happen because I think there was people posting that they wanted to own Jared Hayne before he came on the website, and which like some leagues do they nominate a player and this is slightly different. Like I know a lot of leagues did it. We did it with Eli Katoa this year. And Zach Lomax. Like with you might
Lomax,
nominate Eli Katoa to be Zach Lomax or whatever. So you can do it that way, but we've had it both ways, and it just gets a bit messy if you let people pick up guys that aren't on the app. And you just have to make sure that if you do it, everyone in the league knows that this particular Nufty is Matt Duffy. Nice rhyme there. So, just make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, I like that option. So I pick a Dragons player that's clearly enough, and then in they come. So hopefully you got some honest folks because you don't want anyone winning with artificial luck. Here's one I strongly disagree with. Trent from Punchy, Jagger had potential to make the 6-man Origin bench. Not even for me, not even in the ballpark, but I know a lot of people are big fans of his.
I think Trent's talking about under 19 bench.
Maybe, but I respect it. Hey, it's an out there opinion. All right. No chance, says Will Cluck. Get the Bulls are rock. Oh, Will says no chance, and Meso says get off the cones, Trent. That is good, Trent from Punchy. Work there. Okay. Brandon Smith, gentlemen, worth discussing. Talk that he will ramp up minutes this week and play in the middle a little bit more. I'll be sticking faith and starting him again this week. I actually managed to get that decision right between him and Verrills, which is hilarious to say out loud.
How good do you run? How good do you run?
You might back end your way into something here with Brandon Smith. Like the loss of Fifi just opens up minutes that I don't think would have been there before. Like having Hubner on the edge, if he does end up starting on the edge, I guess we'll wait and see. But I mean, I'd be very surprised if Hubner played 80 on the edge for South Sydney. Like I reckon that's got like a shared role written all over it. So this team that they've listed definitely is way more, I guess, available for Brandon Smith to be able to go back and play as a middle, as a lock, or as a front rower or something like that. So, yeah, I think his value's gone up, even though he had a crap score last week.
Yeah, and there was talk. Bennett's already come out and said he's ramping up the minutes, and it was also, boys, worth mentioning. Ridiculous that they played that at 1 p.m. in Perth the other day. Well, that was so hot. They were all absolutely gassed. And there's poor Keon.
There was no one there.
It was too hot. It was ridiculous. What were they doing? That was very strange. So, yeah, Keon played 80 minutes on one leg in that heat. Like, poor bugger. I feel for him at this point. Lockie Hubner, I got nothing. Not for
on
me.
The edge. No, thank you. The old Paul Hubner.
Mama Zealous and Garlic named on bench too. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's not a great bench, but I think time on an edge. Cam Murray, Meso. I think you both nailed it, you and Simo, which means Brandon will rotate through the middle, which he did a tiny bit of last week. So Hooker is that bad that I'm actually not deterred by his 27. I'm hoping to up that to 40 plus and forget about the position. So I'll also say, gentlemen, AEing the position if you can do it in your league. Try and do it because Hooker is just a disgrace. Absolutely terrible. All right. Dragons is just red lights across the board, even though the matchup's probably not terrible. Setu 2 did something. Good on the man, mature age NRL player. But I just can't have it again, gentlemen. I'm going to stick with it. Lucy Leilua has earned the every week start until Dylan Egan comes back. But there is a chance with Jaden Sewer moving on and possibly even sooner, Lucy may have rest of season hold here with Egan jumping on the other edge. So I kind of hope he does because at least he's trying, even though that kick was hilarious.
Kick was bad.
Just had to pass it. Yeah. But the confidence is there. At least give him that much. So, yeah, interesting to see how that shakes out. But Toby Couchman, going to be decent enough as a good floor argument. Had a good week just gone. Lucy, Sewer, Stewart if you're stuck. Val Holmes, good luck to you. You're going to have to start him, and I think his value is almost completely in the toilet, Simo, compared to what you drafted.
Yeah, it's just been a tale of woe, really.
It's pretty rough. Okay, a couple of questions coming in. Our man Phoenix, do you boys reckon Egan beats out Lucy next week? It's a hard one, mate. I think with Sewer moving, I don't know. I feel like it would be Egan if they're going to re-sign Lucy, but that's a hard one. Hard to know.
He replaces Luciano pretty easily.
I think Lucy's been playing great. He had that one funny kick, but
he's been
I don't
good.
think next week. I reckon Egan will start on the bench, but give it 3 weeks, and I'd be surprised if, I'd be surprised if Lucy's still busting out 80 minutes on the edge.
Just interesting if this rumor about Sewer going early across the Para. I don't know if there's any meat on that bone. Para would take anybody at this point. Boys, I'm cooked. Why is no one in my league buying Twal? I don't know, mate. I don't know what else they'd need to see. 12 and Lindsay Smith for Stefano and Lucas. Gentlemen, really quickly to help out, lock it in. You'd be about the Stefano and Lucas.
Yeah.
I would do that, assuming that you are not coming in the bottom 3 in your league.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold off on Lucas. Really, does Ahmad Leb barbecue as well. Says Trent from Twally does a Mad Lib barbecue. Okay. Contract year, Lucy is a different animal. I agree, Phoenix. I'm not as sure he'll lose his spot. Dylan Lucas, I love it. And lock it in. You're not in a room with this Trent fella being caught. Now I'm forward to and relying on Nico, Kinney, Preston to get through. Want Lucas for long term. In your 2-2RF league, you got to go for high-end talent. So, yeah, Lucas would be a pretty awesome number 2 for you. Lock it in. Good luck, mate. Good luck indeed. I still wouldn't be racing to trade away Twile personally, but, yeah, I understand the logic. All right. So Val Holmes really quickly, gentlemen. If there's anyone out there who's just a big Val fan, and you can still get closer to full price, get off the Dragons. You don't want him. You just don't want nothing to do with it. Terrible.
Nope.
On to the absolute rampaging. That's right, I've gone there. The rampaging Tigers. They were outstanding. We missed the jump the Knights. They absolutely just brained us with the 6 agains. We just couldn't hold them back. So, look, there's a player I'm going to go straight to here, and I think he will be out there in a few leagues. Jerome Luai. He started great, but obviously with an injury, and he's not usually a very popular player. If Jerome Luai's out there, Simo, we've got to take this one very seriously because I think dead set most 5'8" would look good playing in this team at the moment.
Yeah. Pains me to say because I really am. My default setting is to just leave Jerome Luai on waivers, but 5'8" position is. It's we knew it was going to be bad coming into the year. It hasn't been great. It's pretty much lived up to the crap expectations that we had. All right, Jerome Luai needs to be on rosters. Let's be real. He should be owned in 100% of leagues because 5'8's not good enough to let a guy with the opportunity that he'll have in a team that's playing as open a style of football as the Tigers are. I don't think he's like a top 3 waiver or anything, but I could justify anything sort of middle to low. If you need a 5'8 there, jump on. Look, if someone did come to me and say, look, I spent top 3, I'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't do it, but I get it. I don't think Luai will keep up what he had been doing, but in saying that, I still think he should be well and truly owned. So, yeah, I think most people could probably go a bit harder than that, but that's just sort of my general take.
Yeah, I get it, Simo. It's hard for us to sit here and justify. It's just that lethal left edge and how well the forwards are playing. He's going to look good here, mate. And I find it hard to believe he won't at least hit one bit upside per game to hit a kind of a floor argument, which is what's been the problem for him. The upside's massive. So naturally, a question's going to be asked here about Taruva. So he's brained him for 150. Had the absolute game of his life. He's a bit bigger this year. He put on a bit of size to be able to handle the rigors of the center. Now he jumps back out onto a wing. Woof. I mean, He looks good.
Yeah, while he's got that wings. So he'll move back to the left this week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it'll be Macassini. Macassini will be on the left.
Macassini's on the left wing. Yeah, it'll be Macassini.
Sonny Taruva on that right-hand wing. Adam Dewey is just serving it on a plate. I actually don't mind this pick up and play. I think he's got plenty to give, and I think this Tigers team is going pretty good. So I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, he's another one we're usually not as big on, but we've got to get with the times. I think maybe we've liked the talent. He was a gun at Penrith. Yeah, it's a better floor argument as well for Taruva, I think, to hit at least something in a game. So if you want to
move to the right-hand side, he doesn't with Taylor May taking up the left. So that's a switch from last week.
Because if Herbert's staying in, Herbert was incredible on the right last week. Did some that pass he did, gentlemen, as he's falling back and launched it like that. How perfectly did he throw that? That was outstanding.
Yeah, that was sick. If I was the Tigers, I would love to see May and Macassini on the left because they both have left-hand carries. Left-hand carries.
So that's what I'd be doing. Happen. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think, why would you, if you're going to give Herbert another run, why would you move him? I know the original plan preseason was to probably have May on the right, but I think Benji's just Benji ball, mate. He'll just play what's in front of him, like when he played his career. I think this is great for Taylor May as well. And listeners, we're not going to bore you and say if Taylor May just happens to be on your waiver wire, ignore every bit of advice we've given you to this point. Spend your number one, spend whatever you got, and you go get him. Because in this side, if he plays on the left in particular, I think that is terrifying, personally. All right. Interesting ones here from the Tigers. Good to discuss them. The easy thing about assessing the talent here from a draft perspective, listeners, is you can just disregard your Polle. He's just there as a little placeholder, doesn't get the minutes. The bench just rotate through and don't really affect things. They just keep the momentum going. So the high minute roles, Terrell May showing, minutes have gone steadily up as well. He was outstanding on the weekend, starting to offload the ball too. So for truthers, that's gone particularly well. Patrick Herbert is a flyer, Tods. I've got to say it. I know it doesn't probably seem like an obvious one.
Nah, not this week. Not for me.
Yeah, I get it. Had to be said, though. Appy Coruscant is playing some bloody good football as well, Tods. I'll stay with you. In a shitty hooker position, he's not perfect. His floor is still pretty crap.
Yeah.
I think he's higher up the rankings. We had him at least clearly in the top 10. But given how bad the floor is across the board, I'd take Appy's 37 for the chance of the, 60, 70 score every now and again.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think Appy's like just a solid guy. Yeah, it's gonna suck sometimes, but like the rest of the hooker after Appy is like sucks a lot of the time, So yeah, I like the shout on that Appy. I think he's gonna be fine.
Macassini back at wing, wheels up, absolutely wheels up for me. I love him as a buy low, actually. Hasn't fully hit his stride with power yet, but I think the upside is coming. So I'm all about that one. Tigers play like the NFL while still managing to pass. It was a good lateral from
Justin Herbert.
Absolutely, yeah. Very good. Gents, thanks for all the answers. I'm listening with delay. Good on you, Saran. Always good to have you aboard. Slim Cognitos, Luai versus Cody Walker is a fantastic question for rankings. I'm going to throw to the boys. I've got an answer for this one. Simo.
I would take Luai rest of the season.
Yep.
All three. Absolutely. All three. Yeah, Cody's floor argument is really scary in that team in better matchups. Like, you're going to have to sit him. I think Luai, sure, there might be tough matchups when they play the Panthers, but he's even motivated there. So, yeah, Luai's a good get. All right. Jesus, that's probably the longest we've ever spoken about the Tigers, gentlemen. Like, it's an indication how well they're playing. Over to a side that is just absolutely battling. Like, they've already been hammered and they've just lost Paddy Carrigan, who, my goodness, Todzer, how good was he playing last week? That pass?
Yeah, that's a peach. That is a peach. He's a hell of a man, Paddy Carrigan, but take 2 weeks on the pine, old son.
Todzer, he's shown more upside this year than I think most of us thought he regularly had. That little face ball thing he's doing, done that a couple of times already. Far out, man. I hate that he's suspended, actually. In comes Xavier Willison, who we just love to talk about in draft land as Mr. Fix-It. At 13, he's probably going to be viable. He probably is.
There's no way he plays 13. There's going to be a Jack Goz written all over it, baby.
Jack Goz to play 13 as the ball playing
Watch
lock.
this. Yeah.
Oh, please tell me that's not the play.
And Phil, do you really think Xavier Willison going to play lock?
I just think they honestly, good on you, Will. Thanks for being with us, mate. I think that it's almost just like 3 forwards to bomb it up. I don't think they're going to play not a lot of play the ball from 13.
Boy,
they're in trouble. They're in huge, huge trouble. Ben Takura 13. You'd love to see it if he weren't off to the NFL. Shout out to him, big Ben Takura. Guess that trade fell through to the mighty Waz, Todzer.
What a shame that is. Holy, we dodged the
ball. Simo, I will get you Xavier Willis when we talk about him a lot. Is this the green light week or the red light week for Xavier?
Oh, I don't really want to start many Broncos this week, to be perfectly honest. This could get ugly quickly if the Tigers actually turn up, which this is the typical Tigers where they play down to their opposition. But if they're serious, they should put a score on Brisbane this week. like Willison, I think he's only someone that I'm looking at for base this week. I don't think he'll get any upside. So he's a free agent at best.
It's a good shout here. Trent from Punchy. He'll be boxing Nas in 18 months. Big Takura. Wow. Yeah, could well be. All right. Tom Duffy, by the way, well played, showing that he probably does belong on an NRL roster having a crack. He was outstanding last week. All right. Jack Kazeski at 13. Holy shit, Tom.
I can't wait to message you on Saturday night when it happens. It'll be hilarious.
Bro, that actually hurt me in my soul. That's awful. Fair enough. All right. Over to the Roosters versus the Mighty Knights. I'll go to the Knights first. So, yeah, missed the jump last week. Got absolutely brained early in that game, and just the fatigue. You could just call it. The fatigue was there. Sorry, mate. So I did miss one, mate, really quick. Josh Rogers playing 9 may be the worst SC start possible. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. We're going to see the night grifter Jaden Hunt play some middle minutes. Yeah, the night grifter. Good stuff. Fletcher Sharp back at 1. Exciting to watch if you're an owner. I think you're pretty happy with that. But the big in this week is Dylan Brown comes into 7, which obviously just confirms what we suspected is that, Sandon will be the odd man out once they're all back. That's the way it reads once Ponga's back, which is harsh. He's played very well. Dylan Brown, I'm going to show there's no leagues he'd be just sitting out there. We know this. Rest of season trajectory, Simo?
Yeah, he's only got the halfback only, doesn't he? So, as you would know, we're fully well, Todd.
Oh yeah, bro! When you set your whole team up on that, it's like unreal. Love it.
It would have got more than just you. I know it's I know the league I'm in, the same person did. The thing that you did there and drafted him as a 5'8" never came to fruition. So, rest of season, Dylan Brown, like he'll be a very solid halfback. It's just like a lot of people have done what you've done, Toddy, and they've already figured out the position because he's obviously been injured. So I think he'll be one of the more traded players getting around leagues out there, Dylan Brown. I'm fine with both ends of it. If you need a halfback, then I think he'll be okay rest of season. But I think also if you are like Todd and you've got 2 there and Dylan Brown's going to be that one that you're probably not going to play most weeks because you've got someone better. See what's out there. You might be able to get a good trade through on someone like that.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, Sandon has been great. Trent absolutely simplifying their footy and straighten them up. He's been awesome. Great to watch. The big in this week, Thomas Kent comes in. There was a rumor that he may goal kick if Sandon had not been named, but obviously Sandon's in there with Fletcher Sharp moving to 1. So, Thomas Kent, Todzer, are we on board with this as a 2RF claim, given he'll almost certainly have this position to himself for the entirety of Lucas's injury?
Yep. Yeah, I'm all about it. I think he's one of those guys that could have huge upside. I'm all about Thomas Kent. I think you could, if you are 2RF needy, maybe you have guys out, maybe you're playing Carrigan in 2RF. I think he's a great guy to plug and play there.
Kent versus Garner is a very interesting one. Similar timelines, both probably say Kent is more of a certainty of 80 minutes than Garner is, but if Garner gets the 80, then you probably want the Garner side. Do you see it similar, Simo?
Yeah, look, it's like a lot of people out there listening would have seen Barry Toohey. I know he got asked a question on X about Kent playing 80 minutes, and he actually expressed a bit of pessimism about him doing that. He was saying that he hasn't played many minutes this year, so he might not get the 80. But then you see the team that they've named, and I really don't see how he doesn't play almost 80 minutes here. I think Kent's, you just got to, I guess you got to factor in the risk of what you believe there. We know Barry too is pretty much, he's always on the money with a lot of these things, but like I said, I do kind of question him a little bit on this particular one. So for me, like Garner versus Kent, I think they're both very similar, to be very honest. Kent's going to base a lot more than Garner, but Garner's probably going to get more attack obviously in a much better team with obviously Cleary right next to him there. So, I think Cant is going to carry more weight in leagues. I think he'll be a higher waiver in a lot of leagues out there than Garner, just because there's a few more question marks with Lukey. But I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of prefers Garner, and I'm a big Tom Cant truther as well. So I guess it's just a vibe thing. I just sort of think, gun in my head, it's easy for me to say because I'm not super high on it on the waivers in our league or any of the leagues I'm in. So I'm probably not going to get either of these guys. But if it was up to me, I'd slightly lean Garner, but I think that's probably the minority.
I'm on Garner too, mate. I like the upside in that Panthers team. You want a slice. So I think he just, even if it's 60, 65 for him, the chance of an upside play is massive. Jumping on here, Billy Burns. I ended up with Noah Martin not starting. I thought, I'll put Billy Burns in to hopefully just get me 50. Oof. He was terrible. Absolutely terrible in that game. Jesus. He's not a dynamic player, but he also, 9 missed tackles, as you've said here, Meso. Drop for Nickera in the side. Is Burns a drop for Garner Can? Yeah, he is. Absolutely is. Burns is just a platoon at best anyway. With how poorly he played, there's a red-hot chance we finally see Nickera come in and get the spot that I think most of us think he deserves. With that in mind, I think Nickera is a fantastic stash if he ends up on waivers this week, gentlemen. I would be I'd rather, even if Burns is named, I'd rather take a chance that Nickera gets his spot back and have him in my roster. So see how we go with Billy Burns. Wow, that was a rough week to start him. Lock It In's just giving us an update. 12 for IPAP Dave for Feeder or 12 for Stefano and Dylan Lucas. Prefer IPAP over Steph but hate soft tissue. Todd, which side of that do you like better, mate?
Stefano and Dylan Lucas.
That's an agreement with me. Simo?
Yeah. Like, when Lucas is back, it's a throat injury. Like, he should be fine performance-wise. With Dave Fafita, if he's back in 6 weeks for coming off a hammy, geez, it's not good for D Fifi. After what we just saw last year with all the crap about the ankle, and now, 6 weeks with a hammy, it's not
great.
It's a dagger. Yeah, Dave Fafita is a hard one to be trading for. So, I'd be taking Stefano and Lucas for sure.
He's really hard, gents, because unfortunately, although his base has been good in albeit 1 week this year, which was the week prior to this, he hasn't hit the upside yet, and that worries me. Like, where is it? Where's that explosiveness? So, it's a bit of a shame we hadn't seen it prior to this because it's going to be harder for people to sell, I think, as well, that really need to trade. Tough one, tough spot. Fletcher Hunt moves into the centers. I'm probably not super excited about starting him there. You'd rather him at fullback. So, you can hang on to him until Ponga comes back if you need to, but try and platoon him out as your 5th CT dub for a better matchup. I'm not feeling it here. Hugo Savala. So, you mentioned last week, played that tap on, mate. You can see he's been putting the work in and training as advertised. That was class to Tupou. Is there a universe here, mate, that he actually keeps Billy Smith out of this side? Yeah,
look, we said it last week that I think pretty much exactly that. If Savala plays well, he could keep it. So, look, honestly, he did nothing to sort of dispel any of the sort of faith I sort of have in him as a player. So, he's another one. Like, obviously, he had a good performance last week. So, if you could double down on him if he's still out there.
Yeah, you can absolutely start him in this matchup as well. I'm a little nervous about the Knights at the moment. I think they're a bit fatigued. So, I like Savala, especially as a 5'8" start. I think I'd fire him up this week for sure.
Yep.
Really quickly, gentlemen, I know it's been in the NRL news. It's pretty obvious that this disruptor stuff is absolutely disgraceful. Thankfully, the NRL came out and said Robert Toyers was obviously a try. Anyone that watched live could have told you that the first time you saw it. But absolutely brutal for Toya owners. Maybe just seize a little buy low opportunity, just throwing it out there. Some big games are coming for Robert Toya. The man is incredibly talented.
What did you think about the Shibasaki one, boys? Because it was earlier in the week. It was
Toya's was worse. Toys was terrible. That was like absolutely disgraceful. Yeah, that was the worst
I feel
I've ever
like
seen.
because they did the Shibasaki one, it got rolled into the fact that they had to, not have to, but you know what they're like? They overcorrect. So like because they ruled Shibasaki's as disruptor, they did the same for Toya, but Toya's was so much cleaner. Like, I mean, the issue with Shibasaki's was that I forget who the player was, but I think they said on the call like the Shibasaki didn't even get in the line of sight of who was the guy that dropped it clean? Chester. Just didn't even get in his line of sight. They're both pretty bad, but we can all be in agreement that Toya one is just shocking.
It was. Cody Walker can't use his 2RF on the left. Yeah, it does seem to struggle to link in there. I'd be interested to see, will our man play on the left this week with, pardon me, the Pornhub nurse switching to the right without Tallis Duncan? Do we think he plays left? I hope so.
I think he does, yeah. Wherever he wants to play, honestly.
He's all that in a bag of crisps, that man. Cade Snowden is in. Welcome, good sir. Good to have you aboard. Here's a good one. So, Iro for Toya, who would you rather rest of season? That's a fantastic question, actually. Todd, are you first, mate?
I would like KL Iro for the rest of the season. Thank you.
Simo, this one's bloody close for me.
I do not agree. I don't think it's that close of a question at all. I would still take KL Iro.
Okay. Toya for me there. I think it's going to be interesting the next 6 weeks. It might be harder to answer that question, but the Sharks do have a very good run home. So I think Iro is the one you want longer term, but it's going to look probably Toya's favor over the next 6-ish weeks. All right. That's it for the Roosters and Knights. Move on down. Eels versus Bulldogs. Probably, you're going to green light some Bulldogs here. Connor Tracy, that's fine. Anari Tuala's come up a lot, gentlemen. It's hilarious that this has happened. One of the weirdest people to be a truther for. Kid's playing very well. We've had some legitimate questions about Nari Tuala. Damn, Todza, can you start to believe? You can't.
No, what are we talking about? Nari Tuala, no thank you.
I think he looks pretty good. I think there's a lot of Stafford Towers about Nari Tuala myself.
Yep, Stafford's not named this week, so that's good by Stafford Tower.
Tugged at your heartstrings. Simo, can you believe it all, mate, or do you think complete mirage?
I don't think it's a mirage. No, I think he's actually been in pretty good form, to be quite honest, to old Inari. So, look, it's always going to be hard to feel confident starting Tuala. Let's be real. It's you're not going to look at his name there and feel good about it. But to be fair to him, his performances have warranted that we should feel confident because he's been very good and the matchup is great. So, yeah, I think he's one of those ones that you just chuck him in there, don't have high expectations, and just, it's the last game of the round. So if you're chasing a bit of upside, you just never know. You might go all right.
As a man I've utilized many times as part of a CTW platoon, it is delightful to see him confidently started. It's hilarious when this actually works and looks bloody good. Tuala or Hero rest of season. Let's not get too excited about Tuala, Mr. CBB. Hero might just shade that one, mate, I think. Just shade it. Max King owner, is Tupanua worth the play? No,
Yes.
He's not. I think
You don't think he's going to get bigger minutes with Max King out?
it's just with Leo Thompson in, mate, is the big one. Leo Thompson they paid a fair bit of money for Leo Thompson, mate. I'm a massive Satili Tupanua fan. I think I would prefer him, though, if I was a Bulldogs fan. I think his bench impact is as good as there is in the league. So I actually think that's how they want to maintain. So, Todza, for your argument to hold here, you would need him to add, 7 to 10 minutes, maybe, to consistently get that floor up a little bit, because his floor's not phenomenal.
Mate, I just think that Leo Thompson coming back from a big injury. Sam Hughes is not a very mobile guy. I think they're going to need him and Harry Hayes off the bench just with the speed through the ruck. So I actually have Tupanua playing some bigger minutes than you, I guess, over the next few weeks.
Yeah, okay. So you plug and play, not a waiver, obviously.
Oh, no, definitely not. But I do like the Tupanua worth a play, for Max King, yeah. He's front row eligible. It's pretty good.
Leo Thompson, I do wonder if he's more of the Lindsay Smith style. The only thing that gives me hope with him is with this, the change in the tackling stat. I do remember from his Knights days, bit of a specialist at the sneaky third man in the middle as well for a big boy. I do remember him just dropping down and, jumping into second marker pretty regularly. So I will go low-end claim, especially if you're FRF needy, but he is not a must. He should be rostered at least free agent. I don't think we'll all agree there. It was a bad injury, but he showed enough in the old system that I think I'm interested. Simo, can you get around it at all?
Are you talking about Tupanua or Leo?
You can comment on both if you want, mate. I was going a bit. My commentary there was around Leo.
Look, you have to target one of them. I mean, Max King's just going to leave dead set like a 60-minute role there. You imagine that Leo Thompson would be the one that they want to take those minutes because they paid him so much money, as you said. Like, I don't think they'll do it the first week back given the calf injury. So this week only, I would probably back Tupanua, but every week after that, Leo Thompson. Like, Tupanua is not even remotely close to a waiver for me. Leo Thompson is, but yeah, for this week, give me the upside of Tupanua because I think he'll get a bit more for this 1 week, but then after that, I'm out.
Okay, I don't mind it, and a red hot chance. Imagine those tight Eels forwards, mate. Was it Moretti and Junior Paulo and everything out there? He'll come on and a red hot chance of punching in a try. I think that's a good shout.
This Eels team is just.
They've made up half those names in the interchange. What are we talking about here? That's unbelievable.
You mean you've not heard of Saxon Crikey?
Crikey! Holy.
Sounds like they just gone to Twel's Lebanese barbecues and picked the
No. We are a very mature podcast here, but please pronounce number 18 for me. Because I know I'll miss an accent, and I tried it earlier, and I don't feel confident to say it here.
T and Cum Brown. That's how you say it. Tiancum. Tiancum? I don't know, man.
That's worse. That is much. Don't do that again. That is much worse. Wow. Okay. This one is bad. I was hoping you had one of your pronunciations that I butchered, Todd, but that is how I read it as well. Yeah.
Where's that from? I want to go there.
Simo, do you want to have a crack, mate?
No, absolutely not. Do not want to go there.
I'm not even going to try.
But yeah, you're right, Toddy. It's a bit of Cancun about it, doesn't it? It's a good holiday destination.
Yeah.
Oh, Cancun. Yeah. Well, good save, Simo. That's a very highbrow from you. Impressed.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Whose mum hates him? Far out.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It's a rough one.
I got to look up if this guy's real.
I hope it's Tiancum. Then we can maybe just slide it through.
Cool, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't be telling him. Jeepers, 108 kilos, 188 centimeter prop, 21. He is built like holy. Yeah, now you can.
I'm very keen to hear Vossi pronounce this one. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, the rest of the slide. Yes, mate.
Well, just for Guitar Man in the chat, can he let us know who he'd be giving up for weeks? So he can get on that while you go through this one.
We will, yeah, mate. We'll absolutely we'll cover off the KO question. So Eels won't be able to field a team soon. No panic buttons on Joash. I feel really sorry for Joash Papali Papali and the Truthers, of which I am one. And I think a couple the boys we've sort of got around him as a pick up and play. It's almost impossible as a fullback or a 5'8" to do much behind a forward pack that's getting dominated like this. Like, what chance have you got? You got talent, but he's picking off scraps at best. So, sure, if you got him at 5'8", then you're relying on him right now, which many of us are for different reasons. You're going to have to play him. But, geez, if you got another option, Todger, I don't think you're too super keen on.
No, unfortunately not. I'm an owner, and unfortunately, it just has not worked out, unfortunately.
I'm not convinced it's his fault. Meso's got a couple of fun ones, and then I'll grab to jump into Guitar Man's question. General football question. Why did Doggies pick Montoya to play first grade? I know I messaged the boys with that try to Jenkins where he just refused to get off the ground at all. So that was bold. I don't know. I got no idea.
Mate, I've had the biggest turnaround on Marcelo Montoya. Ever since he's done that podcast with his missus, he is like just a top bloke.
He's a ripper. Oh yeah.
Like before seeing that, I was like, yeah, why is he getting picked? But now that you know what he's like, he's just a ripping fella to have around the team. Like that's why he's in there.
He could just jump sometimes. All right, Guitar Man. I'm fullback needy. Weeks being offered worth trading for. If you're fullback needy, Ko Weeks is a kind of a sweet option. Floor argument will never be there. He just can be very disinterested at times. But that high-end talent, gentlemen, are we about Ko Weeks rest of the season?
Yeah. Like if I'm fullback needy, I think Weeks is a good plug gap.
Yeah.
You should be able to get Ko Weeks because he's coming off a 2-try, and what a try that one of those was too, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A 2-try 70 or something around there, 68 or so. Yeah, like obviously owners of KO Weeks, if he's their second fullback, they'll be okay to listen to offers coming off that.
Jump in to help out, lock it in. Guys, I'm so sorry to ask again, but I'm working on this mega trade. So, Twile plus Lehigh for IPAP FIFA Euro. IPAP
yes.
FIFA Euro. That's a
no, you're not giving up too much. Go and do that.
Yeah, I'm more happy with that than I am the other one, to be honest. That's a great trade. Yeah, I like that one a lot. You're on your Guitar Man. Good luck, mate. Meso says, just looking at the fresh names in reserves, and there's Stephen Crichton in 23.
Yeah, one of the world's quickest healers, apparently.
He's a very fit man. Yeah, wow. So he would come in. This is the thing for Tuala. Like, I don't know how that plays out. How's that shake out in the end? Bronson Jerry played.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of Bronson Jerry though, surely.
Probably.
With all the shit that's been going on.
Fair play to the man. How good did he play when he came on? He was fantastic against the Storm. Probably one of the better games he's played. So, but yes, it probably is because he's off. Surely he ends up at the Bears, right?
Yeah.
That seems almost too like he should be playing it at first grade. So that'd be.
He doesn't seem like a Perth guy. I think he'll find another club somewhere.
He'll end up playing somewhere. Good player. If I remember correctly, Guyman. Now, I'm glad you mentioned. I wanted to bring up a couple of names here, folks. So Luca Moretti is a trier. Junior Paulo's not running with a lot of legs at the moment. Anything there, Tots?
Not for either of those guys. What happened to Junior? Last year he looked fit and good.
Yeah, it's not there to start.
Neither of those guys, no.
Not great. Charlie Guymer on an edge, though. I absolutely remember what Paul is referring to there with a pretty high work rate on an edge. Won't play 80, of course, but with 60 minutes on an edge close to a PPM, I absolutely get it. I think as a minimum free agent pickup, he's a sneaky little one for me. So well done. Good spot, Paul. Gentlemen, anything harder, or do you think that's not really anything worth looking at?
That's it for me.
He's nailed it like a free agent. Jump on board, see what happens. You just if this Eels team is other than like Mitchell Moses and Jack Williams, the rest of it is just either guys in the back end of their career or guys that need experience. Like there's very few players that are in their prime at Parramatta.
Absolutely, mate. It's the wrong timing. And you notice with Katunga out there, like at least he's a young talent on the way through. There's not much. No, I'm with you, mate. It's a bit sad, which is why the JDB signing was very confusing for all of us. Let's be real. And then is Jaden Sewer the answer, gentlemen? Like at this stage of his career? That also seems bizarre. He's a win now guy. That's just bizarre.
I mean, if you're starting Charlie Guymer and your front rower from last week as your second rowers, then I guess you'd take him, wouldn't you?
Katunga, welcome, Mr. Keaty. Good to have you, sir. Katunga, Fifi, replacements, boys. Geimer, can't any other options? Yeah, Kent and Garner are your two big ones, mate, for sure. And yeah, I mean, Geimer, if you had to plug and play, is probably okay. All right. That takes us to the end of the analysis this week, gentlemen. So plenty of wonderful questions from our listeners. We will now have a look at the Listener League, please, Mr. Todd.
Yes, mate. Good thing I had it up ready to go.
It's like you've never been asked, mate. Unbelievable.
I know. It's wild, isn't it? This week in the Listener League, what happened? Silkwood Slugs unfortunately gave old Simo a big old piece. Took a 100-point loss, big dog.
Yep.
Tough one.
Still feeling it.
I can see it. I can see it in your face. Bloody beautiful. Munsters Inc., he's sitting second, mate. He put up 9.23 against Baxter's boys, who didn't put up much. Sherry's Pie gets done by Don't Go Chasing Kurt Falls. Pretty close one there, just at 40-odd points. SJ's Revenge, I think I gave him a bit last week, so he came back firing, 9.42 versus Adolf Fitler. Couldn't get that one going. Went here, Nico, gave it to you, Redford. Love that.
Yeah, thanks.
Love that.
Thanks, Will Kennedy. You've done me again, you shithead. Had him literally just needed to get me this round done when I had Hammer on the bye. And what does he do? 23 points. Thank you, buddy.
It's
Love
good. You. It's good, mate. You lost by like heaps more. And
it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough in there. It's pretty rough.
I've managed to be the Drinkwater and Sasangi owner this week, so I put up 8.52 against the Bearded Dragons. Big win for me. I'm in fifth, and he was in third or second or something. So big win for the lads.
Who went big for you, Toddy? Who have you got that went massive?
Drinkwater and Sasangi.
Oh, sorry, you had them. Sorry, I thought you were against them.
Yeah, no. So just the leaderboard. Don't Go Chasing Kurt Falls, Munsters Inc., Bearded Broncos, SJ's Revenge, myself, Simo, Baxter's Boys, Redford in the 8-hole. Went here, Nico, Adolf Fitler, Silkwood Slugs, and a long season for Sherry's Pie.
Thank you, Todzer.
You're welcome, mate.
Traded away Will Kennedy and regretting it until this week. Yeah, he's a pain. He's a pain in the ass. Glad you got rid of him, mate. Phoenix, would you consider dropping Lindsay Smith for Egan? Lindsay Smith has just not – the format has just cooked him, hasn't it? He's one of the guys that's been hurt the most. It's just like Ruben Cotter's even shown a little bit more. Is he just a drop, boys? It's a weird feeling because he's been so good for the last 2 years at least.
I'm going to assume that Phoenix has probably got – like Lindsay Smith would be on his bench in this particular case. So, yeah, I'd probably move on.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Any questions from the mighty X, Simo?
No, it's been quiet over next today. So, no, nothing on the X. It's, yeah, I think a lot of the boys jumped in the chat. So, it's good to see.
Yeah, there's been a lot of quality chat tonight. Thank you, mate. Todd, man, anything from the Book of Face, fella?
Yes, mate. I do have one from Vance. Just wants us to rank these players' rest of season value.
Okay.
Tommy Chester, Tane Tuapiki, Braden Burns, Stephen Crichton, and Inari about to be benched Tuala.
How about it, Simo? So Chester, Tuapiki, Tuala, Crichton. There's one other.
Braden Burns.
Braden Burns.
Very good question. Very, very good question. Probably. I mean, are we saying Critter's fit or are we saying Critter's out for?
I reckon with Critter being named, he's close to fit.
All right. Well, assuming if Critter's fit and he's still kicking like he was, I'd still say Critter. But if he loses the kicking because of this injury, then I'd drop him. I'd go Critter, Chester, Burns, Tuapiki, Tuala.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep. That's pretty much where I'm at.
That's a good one.
That's the only question for from the Book of Face.
Thank you, mate. Mr. Keaty, no dramas at all, mate. Glad to have you aboard. Assuming Sony Luke and Egan have been discussed. So Sony Luke, yes. Egan's still got Sam Healy, mate. But Egan is probably similar to Coruscant. He at least has a chance of hitting upside once every few games, but the floor is like 35 again, 37. That's how bad Hooker is. Egan is still probably startable, but it is going to be gross more often than it's not. So tough one. Sony Luke, though, this week is a very good start. I think we're all on board with that, but it's maybe he's a chance of ousting Marnie, but they paid money for Marnie, so probably not.
He's not going to oust Marnie. That's the thing.
Almost certainly.
He'll eat into the minutes of Marnie, but he will not take the spot.
Trent, do you think Kane Launton will play for the Perth Bears? I don't know.
Or Carl, one of the two Lawtons. Yeah, sure, he should. Why not?
He's probably on the peripheral, yeah. Decent enough. Good defender. Critter is in the shitter. Nice, Trent. Very good. Guitar Man, we will sum up. Oh, it's Razzle. G'day, Razzle. Damn, your boys started early tonight, top waivers. I think we got some criticism for starting a little bit late, actually, mate, for our 8:30 Queensland time. But thank you, mate. Top waivers will recount. Oh, we've got lock it in. Twal plus Lehigh plus Lindsay Smith for IPAP, Eero, Fafita, Max. Oh, you are winning that trade. Every time you've added, you just keep getting better. That's like a Max King throw-in for Lindsay Smith.
Yeah. How is he doing this in terms of negotiating? Like,
it keeps getting better for you, mate.
He should have accepted a trade and would have won it 2 offers ago.
Yeah, I don't know why he wants Lindsay Smith. That's crazy. That's a fantastic deal for you, mate. Go. Hit that trade button, sir. Nicely done. All right, Guitar Man. Summary of waiver priority. Yeah. No, this is good. We'll stay with this. Lock it in. We're just texting, haha, and clearly you've got the fleece functionality going. Well done. Meso says, I'm very interested in this convoluted trade of lock it in. Lock it in says, mate needs origin wins when Lindsay is a keeper.
Sure. Is he?
I'm extracting maximum value. I see what you've done there. Well done, King. Well done. Yes, a league that plays captain. He gets Twal as a captain option. Yep, he'd be the best of those for that reason. And Fifi's out for ages. No, I'm here. He's not getting fleece. It's just what we're commenting on, mate, is your first trade that you offered were a bit like, and then you've come back with a deal that's even better for you as opposed to the guy accepting, Simo, right?
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And like I understand Fafita and that's out for ages, whatever, but yes, he's still getting IPAP in return for 12, which was what he wanted to do at the start anyway. Yeah, so
exactly.
Yeah, it's
gone well. All right. Summary of your waivers. The low-hanging fruit are quite obvious. So obviously go get yourself some Taylor May. If you've got a Daniel Tupou or a Karapani, go grab those. But of the more realistic options this week, I think we actually shaded Garner over Kent. And it's really pick your poison as to where you have Jerome Luai in that. 5'8" is so shallow, gentlemen. If Jerome Luai is out there, I would have him as number 1 for that reason. Agreement?
Yeah, I can see scenarios team need where you would go Sonny Luke as well. I do think Sonny Luke will have a big week. It's just everything after that is not. So
okay, but
they're the hardest waivers to rank. Is that sort of player. Willison potentially is like that too, but I just am not as confident in him. But those guys that you think will be good for 1 week and then versus the guys that have got 4 to 6 weeks, but not in a position that you need. That's where it's sort of tricky.
Just behind there, Braden Burns and Timoko, if they're available, are 2 that we're pretty happy to, sort of that mid to lower. Yeah, something like good mention. Xavier Willison, a play for the next couple of weeks with Carrigan out. He tends to do pretty well. I like the shout of Charlie Geimer as someone to, just as a plug and play as well. Khan Pereira is my pickup plug and play CTW of the week against the Titans, the revenge game. So I'm going to be glued to that one. That's it, gentlemen, I reckon. Taruva, Taruva, justice on it. I'll ask the boys. Todzer, where does he slot in with those names that I just said?
Sorry, who do we have at one for Ghana and that?
Luai, Ghana, Kent are the top three, with just behind them is Burns and Timoko.
Yeah, I'd have him ahead of Burns and Timoko.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. So I would too. I think he goes in there. If you are CTW needy, you could push him to the top of the pile as well. I get it. And now he did. Yes, he's had a career day most likely, but with the Tigers' success, you really want CTWs who are going to be in teams like that. So I get it. Like, break the bank if you want to. Simo, any objections to that, mate?
No objections. And Lockie Hughes, get off this chat and go and accept that trade right now.
I have Boyd and Kinney with Turbo and Campbell starting over them and being offered Walsh and Hudson Young for Boyd and Kinney. Oh, yeah. Enjoy that, big fella. That's good gear. Hell yeah. Nice call, Sumo. Lockie Hughes, dining out. All right. That wraps up. I don't think there's any other players worth mentioning there, folks, because all the other names, not interested in Tango as a 1 week or Labert. I think Avarillo, he'll be owned. Really quickly, boys, DWZ, did we land on low-end claim just because he actually may be good rest of the season? He's averaging near 60 and he's doing it.
I don't think so. Not for me. Not a claim.
No.
Yeah, lock it in. You guys hammering me for fleecing and Lockie is crushing. Not hammering you, man. We're giving you love. You're absolutely crushing it. Keep updating those trades. Mr. CBB, I might start trading with ChatGPT as well. Yeah, nice. Get with the times, I guess. All right, boys. Thank you very much for that this evening. Wonderful buy-in from our awesome BDEs tonight in the chat. Simo, thank you very much. You battled through the internet and you've come good, mate. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks. Yeah. Sorry, listeners. Bloody work computer I need to get rid of. So, yeah. I'll be better next week.
Good, man. Thank you. Todd Brown.
Yes, mate.
Good from you.
Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
All right. And Ari Tuala for another big one just for the mighty potty number one listener that he is. All right. BDEs, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And as always, get that BDE India. Oh, yeah.